my channel, and I'm the XRP pilot. I'll be flying the XRP army to the stratosphere once we are done and settled with this lawsuit by SEC. How are you guys doing? Make sure you guys are having those diamond hands. Make sure you guys don't shake out. Don't let any FUD shake you out. Keep hodling. I know it's hard, but make sure you guys are hodling and buying those dips. You make the real wealth when there is a bloodbath on the streets. Make sure you're buying the dips and prepare to be the new 1%er. Alright guys, before we dive into this video, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share as much as you can so that we can reach out to as many people as we can, as the YouTube algorithm needs all those things so that it can be reach out to most of the people out there and they can change their lives for good. Alright guys, let's dive into this video. Let's start off with XRP's price today, and XRP is at 61.16 cents. We are definitely in the red, but I would say we have been moving sideways for quite a while now. We should be moving up or down. I cannot say that, time will tell. There should be a very huge volatile movement incoming, so prepare for that. Keep your eyes wide open. Alright, now let's get into the fun part of this video. Alright, so DLTL Camille let us know in 2010 that foundation predicted how that can be used to gain a total power over the complete population. I'm going to play this video for you guys. Take a listen, and then we'll move on from there.
They had the Rockefeller Foundation script a plan to introduce martial law and a permanent method for total control of the citizenry. In this plan that they disguised as an academic scenario, as they called it, the method they would use to gain complete prison-like control of the entire population was to infect them with a devastating biological pandemic, and then, under the guise of protecting us from this threat, they would be free to implement their final solution, a prison state. It's called Lockstep, a world of tighter, top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership, with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. In 2012, the pandemic that the world had been anticipating for years finally hit. Unlike 2009's H1N1, this new influenza strain originating from wild geese, even the most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when the virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months, the majority of them healthy young adults. The pandemic also had a deadly effect on economies. You can see that agenda. Just naked, raw, naked control agenda written down, and it's anybody's guess how this becomes effectuated in real life. So whether this is written specifically as marching orders or whether people take it upon themselves in the intelligence networks to say, okay, well, this has been produced, so this is the plan here. But these narratives have to be written in advance. Okay, the pandemic also had a deadly effect on economics. International mobility of both people and goods screeched to a halt. Right, which is what they want. They want a completely isolated world, right? Debilitating industries like tourism and breaking global supply chains. And they want you at home in your house in front of the TV. Then they got you. Because once you watch the TV, they own your soul. Even locally, normally bustling shops and offices.
So guys, isn't there what's going on right now? We are just trying to connect some dots here. This is not a financial advice. Do your own research. It's just for the entertainment purposes only. But let's just take the red pill and try to dive in and see what's really happening here. Alright, so now again, DLT Alchemy let us know from the 2010 report. Sounds like we are under the lockstep right now. Number two will be clever together. Sounds like the build back better movement we hear from the globalists echoing. So these are the four steps we have been told about. And DLT Alchemy believes we are in the lockstep, and then there will be a clever one, and then there will be a hack, and then the smart one. You guys can pause the video and read all that. I believe we might be somewhere in the clever and might be going to the hack attack real soon, because if you see uh, the World Economic Forum warns businesses of the next big cyber pandemic. Let's just read into that. The World Economic Forum has finally taken cognizance of the severe threat next generation technologies, I believe digital currencies or blockchain technology, may soon pose to businesses worldwide, a phenomenon called the impending cyber pandemic. I believe I read somewhere or I heard WEF telling or saying that the cyber pandemic might dwarf the current crisis we are going through. So you guys can imagine how big the cyber pandemic could be. It might bring the whole financial system or the legacy financial system down. And I believe that's what we are heading towards. Because unless we have a problem, we cannot implement a solution. So there will be a problem, then the reaction, and then they will introduce the solution, which will be the new financial system run over the XRPL, XRP ledger. That's what I believe is the end game. Alright, so let's go next. Let's hear from the World Economic Forum guys themselves how bad the cyber pandemic could be.
But still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To you,
There you go, guys. So we don't know if that's gonna happen, but they say when the World Economic Forum says something, you better listen. So that just keep our eyes wide open and ears wide open. It's better to prepare yourself. All right, now let's go to the next. So they have been warning us about the cyber pandemic, and then there is this cyber polygon. I believe it's a simulation training for the industries, organization, institutions, uh, which train them in case there is a cyber pandemic, how to deal with that. You can you look it up yourself about the cyber polygon. I believe they had one simulation in July this year itself. Uh, just try to look. If you guys are wondering how XRP is all connected, we'll dive into it later in our future videos. But as of now, just try to see the connections. Like look at the diagram here, all the hexagons and all the designs. And if you see here, check out the design right here. And the Ripple Ashish Bolla examines the role of crypto in the future financial service and how RippleNet It's expanding beyond cross-border payments to provide tokenized services for enterprises around the world. That's that's what we are heading to once the current system fails or is brought down. The new system will be implemented, which will be running on XRP Ledger in my humble opinion, and there is nothing humble about me. So, all right, so that's good. Now, Pika Nix, let us know. Boom, disclose TV. Now look at that. New Spain highest court rules past year's lockdown unconstitutional. Wow, that's crazy. If you go down, so it begins to span thread. So it begins. His was the message of this Mr. Poole. Yeah, this Mr. Poole post from a while back. I look at the connection. And it seems like that the flag on the post actually relates to this Spain. If you zoom in and look at that flag, seems like to be the flag of Spain. And now there are some connections being made. Alright, now let's look into some more connections. Alright, so now let's go back to the DLT Alchemy post and let's dive more into it. What's really happening? Let's take the red pill. So DLT Alchemy let us know that sounds like Build Back Better movement we hear the globalists echoing. And indeed they have been saying about Build Back Better. It's a term or a phrase most of them have been using to basically recover from the crisis we are currently having. So let's look what does that mean? What exactly that word or phrase or term mean? So so let's look what gematria. What exactly gematria is? A Kabbalistic method of interpreting the Hebrew scriptures by computing the numerical value of words based on those of their constituent letters. So it's basically a coded language using numbers which the elite or the cabal use to communicate with each other and a normal person, the peasant, can understand. Alright, so now let's dive into it. And if we put into Gematria, and if we go into Gematria and put in Build Back Better G7 Summit, which they held this in 2021, and let's see what do we get. Alright. Quantum entanglement. One coin to rule them all. One coin to rule them all. Which coin that could be? I believe there was an Elon Musk tweet about one coin to rule them all too. Oh, so okay. Build Back Better G7 Summit. What does that mean? One coin to rule them all. Which coin that could be? Now let's look into the Elon Musk tweet. There you go. One coin to rule them all. What coin? What coin? They have Ripple BTC at the very top. But if that doesn't convince you, let's go again and write in Build Back Better World G7 summit. And let's see what does that give us. Universal basic income. Crazy. Universal basic income. That should that would be running on XRPL2, I believe, using CBDCs. Let's see to the next one. Let's see if we get something interesting. Boom. There you go. Wow. 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 XRP global currency. Damn. Wow. Boom. Alright guys, that will be it for today. I hope you guys like my video. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, share as much as you can. Help me with the YouTube algorithm to reach out to as many as possible so that we can change our future and be the new 1%er.